Hey, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to make a video about little Toro. Everything that has been going on. Well, not everything that's been going on, but you know what I'm saying. I just wanted to make a video because um, from what I had been seeing, little Toro, he was already kind of crazy, but um, being away from his kids, or I think that's something that threw him over the edge because it kind of happened to me, like not like him, but it affected me a lot, you know, when I separated from my daughter's mom, she did the impossible, just to keep me from her, and all I wanted was my time with my little one, and this is nothing to do with that, but like she had all her reasons to hate me, because I wasn't like, no, I'll say that she had her reasons to hate me, but using my daughter, using my little one to get even with me, it it affected me a lot, Um, ever since I had left, I was just trying to spend time with her, spend time with my little one, and she tried to like minimize everything, even to the lengths of like the saying that I wasn't her real dad, um and when I started going to court, she was still trying to keep me from her, and I was working on a lot at the time to just try to pay the lawyer, and it was affecting me a lot, being away from her and just fighting for my little one. It was affecting me a lot, I couldn't concentrate on anything. I was lashing out on everybody, like all I wanted was to be with my little one, and that's that's all I couldn't do, because they took her far from me, like 4 hours away from me, and apart from having to pay for the money and all of that stuff, like um the system is not set up for dads, it's set up for the moms, and that's it, you know the their favorite word is, oh, the child's best interest, the child's best interest, but it's not, it's the mother's best interest, because if they actually looked at the child's best interest, they would actually want to make the parents, or split it evenly, but it's just for the mom, so I could understand why, or kind of one of the reasons that threw him over the edge, because he was already, had problems in his head, and uh, from what I had heard or wherever, his wife was with his nephew, so that plus being crazy, plus the mom keeping him from the kids. I'm, I mean, I could understand why he was like just spiraling out of control, going to LA, starting problems and everything. So, like I'm not saying that he wasn't crazy already. Like I said, he was like he already had his mental problems, but I'm I'm sure, like, cause from what I had seen, like in the videos, he was with his kids, or like they let him be with his kids, without being supervised, or that's at least from what I saw, But if they actually thought that his kids were, in danger, they could have done supervised visits and everything like that. So, um, it there was a lot of things that they could have done different, and to kind of, you know, help him out because I knew he was crazy already. So I mean, her keeping him from the kids, I mean, I'm pretty sure it made him like completely snap because like me, I mean, I'm not gonna say ooh, but it affected me a lot. Like just being away from her, from my little one, just you know, it sucked. You know, and them using my past, saying that I was dangerous and that you know my daughter was gonna be in danger and that I was a dangerous criminal. Quien sabe que tanto, basically calling me fucking like a mini Chapo and this and that. And I was like, wow, like the lengths that they went to, you know, like, and all I ever wanted was to be spend time with my little one, you know. And the good thing is that now that she's getting older, you know, you can see the that I'm trying, you know, and that's gotten us super close. So, you know, that's something that probably little Toro could have waited for because it sounds easy, but it's super hard that he could have waited for it to get older or whatever. But I mean, you never know. Like, it could have gone the same, you know, because he was like, you know, he had his health problems in the head, you know, but I don't know. All I could say is that him being away from his kids, it kind of like, at least from my personal opinion, like it threw him over the edge, and that's why he was like just keeping spiraling and spiraling and spiraling out of control. Because if that's what he wanted, and that's the only thing that he couldn't have, is like, you know. So I mean, I'm not gonna excuse him or say that oh he was excused because of all of that, but you know, being away from your kids, it you know, it sucks. Even if it's not forever, even if it's just for vacations, it sucks. Like, and me being far away from her, you know, and me trying my hardest to like get the time, it it puts a lot of stress, and you know, especially health wise, you know, like um, I almost died, so I already had bad legs from before, from when I was younger, and then 3 years ago I crashed. For 3 or 4 years ago, I think I crashed and I almost died, and I broke my legs again. So you know, I've been like chasing myself, you know, like trying to money and everything just to you know spend more time with her. So I could imagine him, you know, like, you know, he's crazy, he doesn't have money and like, you know, he wants to give her money and but he can't and like so yeah, you know, it sucks that it happened to him, you know. It would have been better for his kids for him to have, you know, been better, but so they would have had his dad, you know, cuz it he you could tell that he did love him, you know, but anyways, you know, I just wanted to make a video because of that, you know, like it took me back, you know, and it sucks, you know, it sucks being away from your kids. But for all the single dads out there that are away from their kids, you know, salutes, you know, hopefully it gets better, you know, and just give your kids all your love, you know, because the more you try, as long as they see you trying your hardest, they're gonna see it. And my little one saw it, and it's gotten us way close. Anyways, have a good one, everybody. Have a good day. good night, weekend, year. Well, good year, good holidays. Have a good one.